Hi, I'm John. I'm your host of whatever channel you're watching. There's plenty of headroom above me, and the reason is that we cut and installed some Cove molding. I believe it's Cove molding because it's the same thing, top and bottom, versus crown molding that has kind of like a lot more here and not as much here. And so you have to be careful about the orientation. And then there's a right way and wrong way to do it. Apparently, there's a side that goes down. And so a pro has explained that a lot of people mess it up. But with this, it's tough to mess it up. But it is kind of weird to cut. You put it against the miter saw fence, and it sits on these two flat edges here. So it sits on the table there, sits up against the fence there. And then you want to actually cut it so it's going to lean back. So if you have this corner here, it's going to lean back in the saw, and then you're going to chop it. So if you're looking at the saw, it's going to be going this way. So it's going to lean back, and then I think it's going to give you that cut. But anyways, that's not the tip. There's plenty of videos about cutting this stuff where you can see how it's set up, and I didn't record that on my miter saw. What I do want to show you is once you have, sorry, the cut that you want, and I've flipped this, so it's your left and my right. So I've marked it L and R, and this is what you want. You want them to mate and give you, it looks like the outside of a picture frame. And so that's what you want, is to have that cove part, the flat parts meet the flat parts, and the groove meet the groove. So if you cut a left and a right, where this really helps you is when you're fitting this up there, you set it into place. You want to sneak up on your cuts. You want to chop off a little bit at a time and then set it in place. And then you want to have, once you've attached this piece, let's say, you want to have a test piece like this. This really helped us. I had my wife help me. So what you want to do is just bring this up and see how it's fitting up in that corner. So once this is set, you just bring it in there, and you just keep nibbling off slices on the saw until you get a good fit here, and you butt it up against the wall and you just check the fit. What we did was we put in one long piece. We checked the fit going in on both sides, made sure it was where it needed to be in that corner. And then we came over to this side, and then we installed the opposite board. I don't know if that's how the pros do it, but that allowed us to measure. So we would set the board in on one side, lock in where it needed to be. So that's the R. So as you're looking at that corner, the R piece, the right, that's going to sit in there like that. And so we checked that. So this is fixed over there. The R comes in, and then we go over here, and then we check, um, sorry, we check that board until the end of it fits in against this board, and that's how we know how to cut it to get the best fit possible. So while I think it's easier than crown molding, um, it's definitely, you have to check and make sure your corners, you have to be able to measure if the wall's doing this, and then the ceiling might be doing this. So we had some undulations and some unevenness, but once it's up there, once it's painted, a little bit of talc goes a long ways to smooth out those corners and so on. So once that is done, with a little bit of touch-up paint, I think it's going to look pretty awesome. So again, get a left, oh sorry, left and a right. So your left, your right, and then just use these to test your fit until you get the cove positioned where you want it, and then you'll end up with a ceiling that looks like that. So like and subscribe if you want to see what else we do. My wife's driving a lot of the home improvement ideas right now, and I am moving into building more furniture. So like and subscribe if you want to see what happens with that stuff. And what the future brings. So thanks again for watching, and hope this helps you out.